Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. Details. It's the In Wheel Time car talk show. Thank you for joining us and welcome. Boasting 100,000 downloads.
Yep.
The In Wheel Time car talk show ahead. Founder and president of Mobility Places, Rachel Allen, joins us. We're going to talk about parking in the big city, but not just regular parking. This is for parking, well, I'm not going to
let her explain.
Yeah, we'll
there
let
you
her
go.
explain, okay? Jeff has this week's racing calendar. Mr. Mars has a special feature on drag racing, starting from the starting line. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, right? Mars. We need more Jeff Zekin, IT Director of Engineering David Ainsley, and I am Joe Blow. It is 4:20.
You are
and
my father,
I did
Luke.
have to make mention of that. Joining us now, whether she likes it or not, ladies and gentlemen, Rachel Allen, founder and president of Mobility Places. Rachel, good morning. Hey, how are you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well. How about you?
Good. It's good to see you, and I love that smile on your face. And I'm curious, why is there a smile there? Was it about my 420 comment?
Jeez.
I mean, it's a good day. It's a good day to be presenting, you know?
It is a good day, Rachel. So where are you located? You in New York?
I'm in Tampa.
Oh.
You're in Tampa.
Funny, crazy Florida vibes. It's great.
Exactly. Are you a Florida native?
No, originally from Chicago.
Chicago.
Close
Okay.
enough.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, you found yourself in a good place down there, and we're glad to have you here. So explain to everybody what Mobility Places is and what you've got going for you.
Yeah. Well, really simply said, we help fleets park.
Fleets, meaning companies that have lots of vehicles and they need some place to park. And I would imagine that parking is at a premium in New York City.
It's wild. It's wild. So you guys were talking about Tesla and all of the things going on there, right?
Yep.
Well, Tesla is about to launch the Tesla network. So if you have a Tesla vehicle and want to actually share it when it's not in use, you'll be taking part of this Tesla network. So they're kind of forming as a competitor to some of the other ride share or car share companies in preparation for robo-taxis. Well, that's effectively a fleet, right?
Yep, yes.
That's a bunch of vehicles that need to be rebalanced and moved around the city so that people could share them. Well, what we do is we help these fleets park because they're going to need really cost-effective parking since they're looking at their assets as something that they want to monetize, right? So they're going to be looking at things a lot differently. They're going to want to park in convenient places for consumers to be able to pick them up. They're going to need a really easy way of getting in and out of parking garages, and it's a mess. Like, it's a highly fragmented industry of like how to get in and out of these things. And so we help, we solve all of that for them, as well as the insurance that they need to operate at.
And not only fleets, gasoline driven.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah,
but let's talk about EVs. That's a whole other can of worms.
Right. And there are like so many interesting things going on in larger cities right now with EV infrastructure and parking lots, because theoretically parking lots are like the perfect place to deploy this infrastructure.
Of course.
But who's going to pay for it, and what's the return on the investment there? So you have a lot of parking asset owners that are asking these questions, and they're asking, when will this pay off? How long will it take for this to pay off? But when you start to see new mobility companies form that are fully EV, or even corporate fleets start to become fully electric, all of a sudden that introduces a fairly large inbound demand for charging, and actually helps them with their return on investment.
Well, I have to tell you that not that long ago, I think you're aware of this, that General Motors pulled their Cruise fleets out of cities because the cars weren't doing what they were supposed to be doing, autonomous cars. Well, here in Houston, we generally speaking, we don't really have too much of a problem when it comes to finding places to park because this city is all spread out. I mean, hundreds of miles across. And I'm exaggerating that, but there's usually not. But not by much. Yeah. But I will say that this particular mobility company by General Motors, they bought or leased a half block of property, spent a bajillion dollars on setting it up for an electric charging station for all of the vehicles. So I flew over it this particular day, and looking down below, here are all these red and white cars all parked in there, and they're all hooked up to charging. Well, guess what? They pulled the entire fleet. Now what are they going to do? Well, with this parking lot that they have that's ready to go for charging. And that's just one little tiny niche of what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's a really, really interesting problem to solve. There's lots of fits and starts. There's lots of different nuances, whether it's the electrification.
How in the world did you get into this business? I mean, I'd be pulling,
so weird, right?
pulling my hair out trying to find places to park.
So my background is in transportation and mobility technology. So I worked for multiple companies, multiple, variations of transportation and mobility tech. Most recently, I was head of product of a peer-to-peer car sharing company. And parking was just a really, really, really big challenge for our business owners, right? And for us as a business owner.
Sure.
And so reached out to a bunch of peers in the shared mobility space to see how they were solving parking challenges. And it looks like we were all struggling with the same thing. So decided, hey, there's really nothing out there to solve this problem. Someone's got to do it for the industry. And so I wanted to tackle it. Because you see, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say to you that here in Houston, there are developments that are under construction or have been modified, and there are large parking garages that are sitting there empty.
I'm going to that direction too. I know where you're going.
I'm thinking, oh my gosh, well, there's an opportunity. Have a whole garage full of, fleet stuff.
Yeah. It's still fleets and consumers look for very different things when they want to park. So Rachel's looking for parking. She wants the closest, cheapest parking to the restaurant she wants to go to right now. Right? Fleets are very different. They look at demographics in a region and see if it's the right serviceable area for them. They are purchasing many times in large volumes. So they expect pretty aggressive discounts. They look for drainage in parking lots, right? And that data is not available because they need to operate their vehicles. They look for so many different things, and they really, really look to make the experience seamless across multiple parking facilities. So just kind of solving that data issue, making the data available so they know where to park, so they know if some of the vacant lots that you see in Houston are actually valuable for them. Is it true? Think of a plumber truck company, right? That's fleet. Is that a serviceable area for them? Well, there's people that need plumbing probably, right? But they just kind of look for all of these different things to make parking decisions. And so if parking asset owners can make their data a little bit more readily available, and we help them through a partnership to do that, and make the ingress and egress of getting in and out a lot easier, setting up the right pricing constructs, setting up, the right seamless insurance is super important.
Well, it's funny you should say that, because the first thing that comes to mind, this city has little pockets of specialty. And what I mean by that, for instance, we have what we call the energy corridor.
Right.
And there are a lot of energy companies that are concentrated outside of the downtown Houston area. They're out on the west side, outside of the Beltway. That's between the Beltway and Highway 6 out there. And all of the not all, but the majority of oil companies have headquarters out there. These are large office buildings that always have parking garages, but they also have needs, and some of them have fleets. Where are we going to park it? How are we going to transition to EVs?
Yep.
And we also have a flooding issue here, which you've probably seen in the news in years past. It's not all the time, but we usually have one major event every 2-3 years where the whole city goes basically underwater. And I didn't even think about you and your job trying to find places that the cars aren't going to get flooded in some lot that's on the ground.
I have a suggestion. So you've got parking garages, and the parking garages, they're generally low for cars. You can't put pickup trucks or vans with ladders and things on them. Why not build specific? Why not build a 3 or 4 level parking garage on a patch of property, making it accessible to these vans and maybe some of these large pickup trucks, dedicating a floor to them, and then maybe the next floor is dedicated to nothing but EVs, and then have it as contract parking. And then maybe the top floor is, whoever, just normal sedans.
That's what you look for, though, isn't it, Rachel?
Why not build it that way from the get-go?
I think with new developments, like that has to be mixed use parking garages.
Exactly.
To be the solution. They have to accommodate shared mobility use cases. They have to accommodate more of the service vehicle fleet. They have to accommodate and section off like electric vehicles. That has to be the future. But that future is slow, right? It takes a long time to build new infrastructure. So it's like, how do we take what we have today? How do we take all of the parking facilities that we have today and make them more efficient by either helping them build, bring in new fleet capacity, like what we were talking about in Houston, or in areas like New York, where parking is still a big challenge and consumers can't even find a spot. How do we help them optimize spaces with inverse consumer and fleet behaviors?
Do you look at cities that have low business occupancy? Because I know that the occupancy downtown Houston with all the skyscrapers isn't 100%. No city's got 100% occupancy. So they're probably 30, 40, 50, 55, 60% occupied. Why not look at some of the vacant facilities? Because I know that there's car dealerships that take over parking garages for their inventories, so they can carry more inventory for that parking, for that dealership.
Basically storage.
So contract out each floor for a particular business. Or if you got an EV, you're on the 3rd floor because that's where our chargers are. You got a van, you're on the 1st floor.
Rachel, is there a repository for all of this kind of information that you pull from or that you try to get into, so to speak?
Yeah, go mobilityplaces.com.
So you're
we got all the data there. Yeah, no, that's where, that's where we have data about all of the parking facilities, demographic data, which is really important. Different pricing, but yeah, that's where we have all the parking.
So you're
data.
the accumulator. You're the person that finds all that information, or your company is. You find that information. Oh, okay.
While she's laying on the beach in Florida.
In Tampa. Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, we got that part.
Work never stops.
Yeah.
Love what you do.
Let me give you an example. So I've got a company, and we've got a fleet of cars, and we also have a fleet of repair vehicles that go out, and they won't typically fit in a regular garage, a multi-story garage, because they're all built for automobiles. I had a 3/4 ton pickup truck here recently, and it barely fit in the garage, and then I continue to go into the garage a little bit further, and it takes the antenna right off the roof of it because it's too low for the pickup truck. And this is a factory pickup truck. This is not something that I modified. And so the garage was old, and it couldn't quite get this truck in it without causing damage to it. I mean, those are the kind of things that you have to look for. But back to the original question. So I've got multi-vehicles in my fleet. I've got repair vehicles, big 1-ton trucks with utility boxes on the back of it. And then I've also got a complete set of sales vehicles per se. So now I've got about 50 vehicles in total. Some of them I've got as electric vehicles. how am I going to find a place to park all of these that's close to me, that's easy for my employees to get to these vehicles? Because they're going to have to bring their vehicle there too. So
build it.
So it's a multi-layer thing. Do you ever sit back in your chair and go,
not exactly how you did it, but I'm sure I have.
Yeah, something like that.
In addition to that, why not have an on-site service center for those fleet vehicles? Because there's a lot of companies that do fleet service, oil changes, tires and things. Why not have that as part of that structure?
Do you put that together too?
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So basic things like dry washing vehicles, like if they're, going through some sort of shift change, basic things like, just checking on the oil, not really heavy maintenance, right? It's probably not the right place to do that in a parking facility, but light things. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So what are you working? Give us an example. You don't have to tell me names, but give us an example of something that you're working on right now.
Okay. I'll give you an interesting one. With, so a lot of rideshare drivers, a lot of your Uber and drivers, they don't own their cars. They rent their cars from these really specialized car rental or peer-to-peer car share companies. And there's a reason why there's specialization in renting out your car to rideshare, just because of the mileage and stuff like that. There's different strategies there. And so in New York right now, there are these new insurance regulations that make it incredibly, incredibly difficult to run a profitable car share for rideshare business. They've just raised the policy limits to be so high, it doesn't make economic sense. And so you have all of these businesses in New York, these entrepreneurs that may have bought 50 vehicles, which is a lot, right? Mm-hmm. And they're forced to make a decision. They see the writing on the wall. They see that they can't profit anymore with the insurance requirements. And so they're like, hey, do we close down business, or do we move into neighboring states, or do we move across the country to other geos that we're more familiar with? Well, when they're making these decisions to move their business, they need parking, and that's kind of the first line of decisioning they make.
Like a taxi cab company, right?
It's exactly like that. And so one of the things that I'm working with multiple different car share companies on is just helping them understand the demographics in the different regions that they want to move to. Will there be rideshare drivers that are going to borrow my vehicles, that are going to rent my vehicles? Where do they live? How do I make it easy for them to get to? And then helping them find really cost-effective locations, because a lot of they're scared. I mean, imagine if tomorrow your business changed. You don't know what the next, business.
By some city council vote, everybody says, okay, we're going to raise it to $1 million for you to do business. And I don't bring in $1 million a year, much less to be able to put groceries on my table.
Right. And it's just so wild. So they're scared. So they're looking for cost-effective pricing in the right area to take this risk, to move a state. And by the way, talking about service, they have whole networks of service providers that they trust. They've got their guy to go to for their oil changes, their guy to go to for maintenance. They got to find a new service network.
Yep.
So they got to maybe move their families. Because this is the business they've invested in. This is the business that they know. So
before we run out of time, though, I wanted to ask you, you're doing that for an existing business. I got a business in New York. I can't afford it anymore. What about the guy that thinks, I'd like to start a business?
Yeah.
Or the folks that are bailing out of certain states, West Coast states, coming to mid-country state, Texas Midwest, and Florida, going out to your Florida, approaching them. Hey, I know that you're moving your business out of California, Michael. You're moving to whatever city. I can help you with that. So there's an opportunity there.
For sure. Anyone that needs to park a fleet, whether it's, a plumbing truck or a large car share, ride share company,
in real time
they
fleet
need parking.
I will say this, that rent car fleets all the time deal with this. Even if they're established at the Hertz or an Enterprise, whatever it is, they have to go out. They have to find something that's convenient, generally off the freeway somewhere where you can go and rent a car. Airport is a no-brainer there. Yeah. But what about the guy that, got his car in the shop for a week or two, forecast that he's going to be there without a car. Now I need to get over there to the Enterprise. Well, the Enterprise has got to have so many cars available to rent, and they got to have a place to park them all. Never even thought about that, Rachel.
Yeah.
She's in.
She's in. You're in on that. All right. So how do our viewers that deal with fleets all the time, and maybe you can give them a helping hand in guiding them into what they're supposed to do with the coming few years with this transition to EVs? How do we get a hold of you?
Go to mobilityplaces.com. My contact information is there. I'm happy to sort through any sort of challenges, whether it's, making sure that if you have an electric fleet, it's placed in the right areas, making sure that if you're making business decisions, you're right in front of your customers. If you just need to park a bunch of vehicles, whatever the need is, we work through it with you.
Cool.
So please feel free to reach out.
Well, Rachel Allen, it is an absolute pleasure and delight to talk to you. Mobility Places is the name of the company. Get online and talk to her. She's the girl. Thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate you.
Yeah, thank
you.
Thank you.
Talk to you later.
Good
Okay,
stuff.
take care.
Very
How
interesting.
fun.
And have a gas station in there, too.
Yeah,
If you
absolutely.
got charges for EVs, have a gas station, have a
The
little
in-wheel
oil change
time gas station. It only makes sense.
Different
Yeah.
kind of gas, though.
Well, it is 420.
Yeah.
Time now for the no.
Yep.
No,
We'll break?
Wait,
Could
I
be.
think we're going to take a break.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
we should.
We need to take a break.
Way past.
And then we're going to
due.
talk to the man of the hour, Jeff, on his racing
boy.
calendar.
There you go.
All right. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeart Radio app. Just look for In-Wheel Time Car Talk and podcasts from your favorite podcast provider. We also video stream our 3-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break. Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In-Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org. Welcome back to the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show on 420. I'm going to make it a theme. I'm going to. I have made it a theme
I was going
here.
to say, yeah, it's it.
Oh, did I miss Keels and Wheels?
Mm-hmm.
I did?
Yeah, that's
Well,
That's it.
okay. Well, I'm sorry. We'll
right.
make it up.
We will.
Okay. Is that okay? Can
That's
we
fine.
make it up?
Yeah, not a problem. I just want to make sure we're on schedule.
I don't know why I cut it short.
I don't know.
Anyway, time now for the racing calendar, sponsored by Texas Muscle Car Club Challenge.
Yes, thank you for that. Well, today is Talladega.
Oh, it is.
Well, for the Xfinity.
I've been to Talladega. Have you ever been there?
No, I never have. Been by it, flew over it. But tomorrow's the Talladega for the Cup guys. Today's Talladega for Xfinity. That is on Fox. Tickets are still available, Michael, if you want to go. That's at 3 p.m. this afternoon. IMSA Racing is in Long Beach today. And I believe it's like at 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock. It's coming on. I don't have the channel, but I'm thinking it's probably going to be on one that we don't have.
Oh, that channel.
Yeah.
And also Indy is tomorrow. Indy Racing is tomorrow. They're in Long Beach also, so they're sharing the track. And then we've got our favorite Formula One. They are doing the Chinese Grand Prix in Shanghai. There was some controversy this past week because they painted the track for some reason, for grip or whatever, and the drivers don't like it. Just a lot of problems with it. So there you go.
Well, me love you a long time.
Yeah. NHRA's off this week, by the way.
They are?
Yeah.
What is it, Mars?
Nothing.
Are you being entertained down there?
I
You're
am.
entertaining
Somebody
him.
on one of your computers?
No. Yes, at the end of the day.
is-
Your impersonation is what got
Hey,
my
what was it with the
attention.
squeaky voice?
Oh, yeah, you never did explain
you never did
that.
explain the squeaky.
Well,
That one. Yeah, that's
that
the one.
there's some commercials on the radio and on the TV that's got the guy with the high voice, and he
Sound like Mr. Haney.
It's kind of like that. It is kind of like that, and it's a referral service, friends. Really, it's a referral service. Tell him old so and so sent you. And so he gets money in his pocket for telling him that you said, no. Guess who pays for that? You do. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Do us. Do this.
Yeah, do this. We ain't going to steer you down the wrong road.
Well, not the first time, anyways.
Not the first time. Yeah, exactly. So I did want to mention that. You know, we're kind of in an era where for whatever reason, they want to have the owner of the company do the commercial. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. There's a guy on television that is gotten into red tennis shoes and kickboxing people.
I think it's hilarious.
Do you?
I like that guy.
So I it's nothing against him personally, but it's like, hey, Don, where'd you buy that car? Remember that guy that's in the showroom kicking people and telling them crazy things? I'm sorry. I can't buy my car there.
Maybe we should do a segment on old commercials. Like, what was the lady? Not Doris Day. Was it Doris Day did Chevy commercials? Who was that?
No,
Driver Chevrolet.
Dinah Shore.
Dinah Shore.
Like stuff like that. Maybe we'll come up
Burt
with
Reynolds'
something.
girlfriend.
Yeah. Was it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Really?
I think it was.
Okay.
Starting rumors.
I think he was also doing, dating or something with the little short girl from
Sally Fields.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Lonnie Anderson.
Dinah Shore, Sally Fields.
The Flying Nun?
Yes. That I don't think she was in uniform that day.
Okay.
Hey, we'd like for you to get in touch with us. All you have to do is shoot us an email. The address here is info@nwheeltime.com. And be sure and follow us on Facebook just for the heck of it. Mm-hmm. Make fun of us, talk to us.
Subscribe to us.
Subscribe, do something. Do anything.
Download the podcast and be the 100,001.
There you go. That'd be great.
Yeah, Michael, come to your house and cook your breakfast.
The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show will continue right after this break.
The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipes mean when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the original Lupi Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here's the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupi Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Speaking of original, nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupi Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupi Tortilla Katy is another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupi's. It's located just off I-10 of the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggie Land? Head to the Lupi Tortilla in College Station, located just around the corner from Kyle Field. It's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Headed east to Louisiana, stop in at the Lupi Tortilla in Beaumont. It too's on I-10. You can't miss it. The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants invites you in for the best Tex-Mex anywhere. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is having another car social Saturday morning, May 18th from 8 to 11. It's a car cruise-in like no other. Expect Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Corvettes, and the featured brand Porsche. Get social at this special cruise-in event. You'll also see Gulf Coast Auto Shield's private workshop and learn about their many products and services. Questions are welcomed. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway near West Airport Boulevard, just south of the Southwest Freeway. The Car Social featuring Porsche takes place Saturday morning, May 18th from 8 to 11. Tell your friends, and no matter what car you have, bring it and enjoy this rare opportunity to see some of Houston's finest rides. In Wheel Time will bring its car talk show there too, so join us for another Car Social at Gulf Coast Auto Shield, Saturday morning, May 18th, 8 to 11 at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway. Visit gcautoshield.com to see the show flyer for more details.
And don't forget, Saturday and Sunday, May 4th and 5th, you're invited to enjoy the 28th annual Keels and Wheels Concours d'Elegance.
Yep.
See the largest collection of classic cars and boats in the U.S. on display at the beautiful Lakewood Yacht Club in Seabrook, Texas. This year's Keels and Wheels features 60 years of Ford Mustangs and Donzi boats. There's plenty of free parking, and discount tickets are available online at keels-wheels.com. It's Keels and Wheels, Saturday, Sunday, May 4th and 5th at the Lakewood Yacht Club in Seabrook, Texas. In Wheel Time will be there too, and we hope to see you there.
That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.